What's up, everyone? Sorry for a little bit of a delayed start. We had VMix is just being weird, and Liam, you were you forgot the time zones exist and time zones
Silly
change.
time zones. Silly
It
time zones.
listen, it's fine. Okay, I was totally not freaking out in the minutes leading up to it that you were going to be late and preparing to start everything with you being late. We're also playing this during the Liquid game, which if you are trying to watch both of this and the Liquid in at the same time, I'm sorry for everyone watching the Liquid game as Liquid are just dying on Inferno. Asian teams love Inferno. It's literally the funniest thing. We have a special guest here today, Joshua Mix. Mix, thank you so much for joining, head coach of Detonate. You have qualified to the RMR in Monterey, which is crazy. So I'll see you there, which is going to be very exciting. Liam, here as always. How's everyone doing today?
Not too bad. Chilling out now. Excited to get Mix on for the show. I think Detonator has been a really interesting topic, and so when your name was floated as a guest idea, I was like, yeah, that's actually gonna be banger. So it's great to have you on.
Yeah, it's been like a bit of a up and down ride already, like the last month or so. But
well,
overall,
you've
happy with
had
it.
certainly. I mean, I thought Detonate was always an interesting choice going in and joining that team. You've been a coach or assistant coach for a lot of teams, and we'll go over that in a second. I think we should really just kind of go through what your career was. I mean, you famously, I think, got started out as an analyst on Bravado, and from there, you moved to Space Station for like a hot second. Like it was,
that was
it felt
like
like
2 or 3
nothing.
weeks.
Yeah, I was like trying to go through things, and I was like, "Does he? Oh yeah." And then the big one was Rogue. That was it. You had an interview that you did with us, technically back in 2020, with former Dusty writer, now current HLTV writer, Note.
Yeah, I think that was the first one I ever did. So
good, pretty cool.
Like
So talk to us about kind of like that beginning stage of the journey, how you got in, and I guess ending up on a Rogue. And for those who don't remember, like that was the MSL team. Like it was a good team. There was Hiko on it. Like you were working with some pretty established pros.
Yeah, that team environment was like so fucking good. I think everyone was just on the same page of just like everyone was like ready to fucking like grind, and I think a lot of people realized it for a lot of people it's kind of like their last chance to like really make something happen. And like the team environment was always good, and I remember just around that time, like I was just looking for like any opportunity possible. Like I remember telling MSL, I didn't give a shit about like getting paid or anything. You know what I mean? Like I just wanted to get the experience. I knew that like if I got like the experience and like with Rogue and like my name kind of under there, it would lead to like more good things rather than just like sitting with Space Station. As much as I liked all those guys, and so Rogue just so important in my career, and especially Vice, because back then like I was still like a pretty like shy kid overall, and so like I haven't really done anything. Remember, like I'm like a CS like fucking like super fan. Like I'm the type that like Liquid loses in 2016, and I'm like one of the kids that's going on Twitter and talking about how bad like Nitro is or something. You know what I mean? Like, that's me. And so like I joined like I remember my first day I joined TeamSpeak on Rogue, and it's like Hiko, Sick, MSL. You know what I mean? And I'm like fucking nervous. Like I really was. Like I was fucking nervous. And so I remember like Vice was always like going out of his way to like help me like feel included and like would just like talk to me about like random shit. You know what I mean? Just like would like pug with me, do all that shit. So that team was just like super important for just like a lot of reasons. Just meeting like Vice and kind of like realizing that people would treat me fairly. Sorry, my stream froze for a second. Like people would treat me fairly. Getting the experience under MSL was like really nice.
Yeah.
Seeing like how like an EU IGL like kind of like operates, like how he puts in a structure, like the things that he values, like scrims and teams and like the team environment and everything. And yeah, we played like that ECS week. Those were the only matches we ever played. So like the first match, the very first match was against Liquid, like Grand Slam fucking Liquid. Beat those guys 2-1. In the process, I think no, it was the next match where like we shit on LG. This was like the Henny Steel, like it was just like weird lineup of like memes. They were never very good on that team. And I remember that's the series where I got like the third person bug. And and I didn't even remember it until like I was told that I was like on E6 list like last year. And I was like, what? Like from what? And I went back to like every demo and I found that. And so that was funny. And yeah, like we.
Hold on, wait. I don't know now how much you could talk about this, but like,
I already talked about it on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I
No,
did
I
the
do
whole thing
remember
on Twitter.
that.
Yeah.
You did the whole thing. So like, have they talked to you at all? Have you talked
No,
to them
I've never heard
about
a
it?
single fucking word from them. I do not know anyone from ESIC. I've never talked to anyone from ESIC. No one ever reached out to me about it. It's just there, and I assume that one day I'll like make a major, and then they'll like ban me for a month, like the day before. Like, they
Well,
did to, like,
now that
the
you're
other
doing
I mean,
guys.
more.
technically, this is it. This is the one. Like, you were in okay.
I'm gonna touch down in Mexico, and I'm gonna see that I'm like banned for a fucking month, and I'm just gonna have to fly back instantly. I feel like that's how this will go down.
Great. Awesome.
Back
So
to
good.
the rogue thing. When you kind of came in and you said there that you were the guy on Twitter, like shit talking, like whatever player was playing bad in the series, going in and having those names, and you're in a position like as an analyst where you're trying to like impact or like have influence on how the team's going to play. When it's like big names and you're coming in and you're pretty new and fresh, like what's that like trying to like impose what you think is best for the team on like these people who are so much more experienced?
Oh, it's really tough because even on Bravado, like I usually wasn't too involved in like, hey, like this is how we should play. You know what I mean? Like, I was more really involved in like anti-stratting, and then I would like kind of like, especially as an analyst, like I'm just like showing little things, and I'm like, hey, like for this setup, like I feel like maybe it'd be better if like we kind of do this, or like we need to be careful if like how we're using like these nades that long because it'll be like pretty obvious that we're faking it or something like that. So I'm just kind of like changing up little things that I think are good because the reason MSL even like gave me the chance in the first place was I think I did some work for like the Shinobi 10's bad news bears against Rogue. I did like
Okay.
notes for them against Rogue. And I remember showing them to MSL like, you know, a couple months after, just to show them like, hey, like this is like what I did on your team, it's like what I could do. And like the reason he gave me the chance is because like I showed him like how what's the word I'm like how predictable like they were with their flashes in terms of like when they were taking map control and overpass, right? Like they were always only using flashes to like take the map control wherever they were. And so that kind of thing, like it's good obviously to take flashes, take map control, but at a certain point, like
Right.
if you're being like too obvious about it and teams just know what you're doing. So like that type of thing was like kind of the reason it brought me on. So I was kind of mostly involved in that. But I was definitely at the time like I already like wasn't like that kid anymore that you know is going on Twitter and like shit talking
Yeah,
pros or
of course.
anything. But like
You deleted
but
the
like
tweets. You made sure.
Yeah.
You know what? All of a
And then-
sudden, you just joined a team, and it was like, "Hey, you were talking so badly about me. Like, what's going on?"
And so I was definitely like super nervous and like pretty soft spoken, especially back then. I think that's something like it's something I didn't fully grow out of even I think until like now until Detonate, where like I kind of had this like epiphany where you know like I've been so like in and out of esports, especially over the past like couple of years, where
Yeah.
I felt like I've gotten to a point where like I don't know like how much longer I'll fucking do it, right? Um, but I certainly got to a point where
Yeah.
I'm like I just got to be like fuck it and just do whatever I want and just you know what if it works
Yeah.
out it'll work out. I'm just gonna say things like how I see them, like push like what I believe in and like what I believe is gonna like help a team win. And then if the team doesn't like it, or if we don't win, then you know fuck it, whatever. But I kind of like I had to like stop caring so much about like the success or failure of like anything that I was gonna say and just like believing shit, just being straight fucking delusional, I guess, and just you know just preaching what I fucking believe in all the time.
Yeah, I guess I kind of have a follow up as well with like you've gone from like analyst, like assistant coach, and now head coach. When I listen to like different coaches talk, like it's not kind of like one set role that every single coach has. Like when I was listening to Semphis talk about like how he coaches, he's more into like what you were saying there about being an analyst, like the anti-stratting, the like the nitty gritty stuff of like technical on the server. And then you look at someone like Zonic, for example, he's more of like a father figure. He keeps them like mentally in check. Like what
Mhm.
for you is that kind of like been like balancing those two kind of different elements of being a head coach?
Yeah, it's funny because as I've like learned and like grown like as a person and like as a coach, I've definitely like kind of transferred more from like the analytical aspect more to like the mental aspect of it. In terms of like as I've like really like thought about things and as I've like gained more experience, you start to realize like how much of this shit is just all mental. Like not even just like having confidence, but like understanding like how to communicate, like how to think about things, like the expectations you have to place on yourself, which is for the most part like putting no expectations on yourself. And that's like a really tough thing to keep doing. And so I think my biggest role in this team has been very mental. You know, I'm trying to get people to think about things the right way. I'm like trying to push people like on their like trying to like create like a good team environment and a good team chemistry that I think will work really well. So you kind of have to like look at like each different person and like the things that they're struggling with and the things that they're good at, and you have to like figure out like how all these things like kind of connect with each other, and also like why people are struggling, because a lot of the time it's just like mental shit. And then with like the analytic class, like mostly like how I think I try to treat it is, I do like tend to focus on anti strats, although I do also have like Valken with me on this team, which is like super fucking nice, and she's like fucking amazing at what she does.
Yeah.
And so and so for the most part, it's more like I'll give like, hey, I think we need to like work on this, or we need to add something like this, or we need to like adjust, because like if we keep doing it like this way, only this way, like it's gonna be like really predictable. But more for the most part, I still want them to be like themselves as players and like think for themselves and figure out like what they want to do, like what they're gonna be good at. And so I kind of like try to encourage that and try to encourage them to be able to like think for themselves, because I think to be like a really good team consistently, everyone kind of has to be on like that same page of like they can understand like how to think like within their teammates, and like understand like what their role has to be in this team or this specific lineup, because a person's role and like the things they need to do is going to change like with each team. You remove a player, you add a player, whatever. Suddenly like the entire team dynamic is like usually much different. So it's trying to figure out like how things need to connect, like what people need to be focused on. Like maybe like one guy needs to focus less on like the overall like macro of the game and like everything going on, needs to focus on like what he's doing. Other people sometimes are just like overthinking shit, and sometimes like you gotta like not overthink shit. Like you gotta like literally have to stop thinking. Like it's not helping. You just need to be like a headshot machine. You know what I mean? Like sometimes that's all it is. Like so, just trying to figure like all this shit out. Yeah, I definitely think as I've grown, I've become like more mental, but I still think that the tactical and mental aspects of everything will still always play into each other. And so, like how I want to like structure my team in game still has to do with like how we should be structured like outside of the game, basically. And so these things should like connect and create like one like overall sort of like play style that everyone's like comfortable with. Everyone, I always say that like I think the most important thing at all times is that people actually enjoy playing the fucking game. I think
Right.
I think if people aren't having fun, if people aren't enjoying playing the game, you literally have like nothing. Like you're not gonna fucking win anything. No one's gonna have a good time. Like it's just completely fucking pointless at that point. You know what I mean? So that's like the most basic thing, and then just trying to build up from there. And like you still have to like take shit like professionally, and you have to treat it serious, and you have to like really grind for it. But at the same time, you should be able to enjoy all of those things.
Oh, absolutely. And moving more, I guess, towards understanding what you were doing in Cloud9, because I think Cloud9 was kind of a big of a roller coaster. You joined with the JT team that has kind of now basically become this complexity team.
Yeah.
And then they all got cut. And
well, I
obviously
think
you
I
joined
think
them,
I think
you
the roller
joined it-
coaster actually starts with the fact that like, so we go to Pro League, right, as ATK. We beat
Right.
G2, we beat North, like good shit. I felt so good about that because like the whole United thing and like whatever happened there, I was
Yeah.
like, fuck you guys. And so we signed with C9, and it's like I don't understand my luck because I signed with C9, right? This is supposed to be like my dream job, like my dream part,
Right.
okay? I was a little C9 fanboy, all right?
Yeah.
And then instantly,
Who among us wasn't a C9 fanboy?
instantly, man, global fucking pandemic. Like,
Yeah.
what? I moved to LA. I'm there for 5 days.
I
go to
remember
Europe.
that. Yeah.
I go to Europe for 6 weeks. I come back, and like the same week I come back to LA, like the entire world shuts down. It's like it's like, so that's pretty cool. And so now everything's
Yeah.
just online. And then yeah, the entire team gets fucking cut. Do I just talk about the Colossus? Like, I don't know.
I mean, I think this
You
is the
want to know?
time. So, I mean, but for everyone that like doesn't understand, the team got cut, but you stayed on, and I was always curious why that. I guess was the team was gone, and you just stayed on as a coach. Like, what was happening there? What was the transition?
So basically, they had like a meeting. So usually these meetings were just like content meetings, which I was never involved in. So I remember I was just like, "Hey guys, tell me if anything important happens in the meeting." Probably won't, but it's all good. And so I remember I just started seeing like the group chat go off, and I'm like, "Oh fuck!" And so then I learned that like Henry was already like in the Slack, like he'd already been signed when they told us. And so I messaged Henry, and I'm like, because another
Henry
thing
G,
at the time,
for everyone
yeah,
that
Henry
doesn't
G,
know.
yeah. And so because at the time I'm also where is that like I'm like doing like therapy, and I'm like on like antidepressants and stuff, and
Mhm.
obviously these things are like covered by like the C9 insurance, so that's
Right.
like one factor and everything. Like I message Henry about it, and he starts telling me about the project, and he starts telling me like this is gonna be like a really big thing, like a really serious thing. Like you're gonna have to like really level up. Like he's promising like all sorts of fucking things. Like he was saying like a pay bump, like like all this type of shit.
Okay.
Promising like so many fucking things, and I'm like, all right, cool. Like this team sounds fun. Like sounds like a exciting fucking project. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
this is supposed to be like what C9 is, right? It's like supposed to be like a top team. And so my options at that point are basically stick with C9 CS:GO, swap over to C9 Valorant was an option at the time as well.
Okay.
Or I could have like tried to stick with the guys and gone to like obviously like they didn't have an org at the time. Like I'm just an assistant.
And
that
then
can be tough.
The
Like
whole are they gonna have an org thing? I mean, the extra
Yeah.
salt came. As
not
for
even just
people that
that, but
don't-
like health insurance as well. Like is that
Yeah.
something I kind of need at the time? Like I'm in LA. Like all the like leaving C9 was just not
in the cards.
yeah, it just wasn't on
Yeah.
the cards for me really. So I
Okay.
decided I'd rather stick with C9 CS:GO. I think I don't remember what C9 Valorant was at the time. I don't know if
That-
Tens was still there or if he had already left.
I don't think Tens had left yet.
But it was definitely wasn't like the Vanity lineup, so I wasn't like super interested. I think if
No,
like Vanity
because
was
because
like
Vanity was on version
Vanny came later
1.
that year.
yeah.
But Zeppa, it was Zeppa, Floppy. Wasn't Floppy transitioning over at this time?
No, that was after the Colossus. So even Zeppa
Oh,
wasn't
that's
there yet.
right.
It was like Vice, Mitch,
Oh my
Tens,
god, yeah.
Shinobi, like something like that.
I forgot because this was like the same time that I was like, do I start covering Valorant since I know everyone? I was like, all of these kids that I know are now there. Like, I guess I could do this. And I played the game twice. In my entire life, I have played Valorant twice. I don't like it. I don't
Yeah.
like it. And it's like, okay.
I enjoyed playing it. I just never could get into. Once I actually tried it, I just realized I didn't enjoy like the tactical aspect of it and like what it is compared to like CS.
I just never got into it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a
But-
simple guy.
But anyway, so like this is happening, and then I don't remember if I had already learned like Kassad was the coach. I think I knew that like that was like the likely coach, and like
Okay.
him and Alex were like the first two like building pieces.
Okay.
And so I'm like learning all that, and then I basically after that I just go like
And then Elma
2
Pudding got
months.
brought in.
That was after Kassad, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you had gone though from an assistant coach, and they were like, "You're just an analyst again."
Yeah, so they put me down like you're gonna be the analyst, and I'm like I don't really care like about the role, like it's whatever, like it's just a name, right? You just do whatever. But like I remember I wanted to be involved like so bad, and like I would message Henry and Kassad, and I was trying to be involved, and I would just get ignored like just all the fucking time. Like they didn't like talk to me ever. So I just go 2 fucking months basically doing absolutely nothing. Like I'm not kidding. I had 2 months in LA where I was just doing absolutely fuck all, and so the team starts. And
What did you think about the announcements with all of the money and all the salaries that were like kind of being more public? Like, what did you think of that? Like, was it inside the team? Was it like, oh, this is causing problems? Was it kind of elsewhere? Like, we maybe shouldn't have done this. Like the community wasn't ready.
I feel like it was a bit too much in terms of I actually like the player salaries being posted just because I feel like that's just good for players. And I think that's just something that should be more normalized in esports.
Yeah.
But I think that combined with like all the other hype of the team, and just like everything they were trying to put out, because like teams like, oh, dude, like this team like wasn't very hyped, so we got to bring it back, right? It's got to be like super fucking hype. It's got to be like everyone cares, everyone's like interested to see how the team's gonna do, and it's like that's great. But like then you actually like get to the team, and it's like so much fucking pressure, and like
can't even imagine.
Ricky's like living in Serbia, fucking alone.
Yeah.
Like I'm in LA alone. Like my schedule, I think I said before, like my schedule was like 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. Also keep in mind, like all my teammates now are fucking like gone from LA, like my old teammates. So
Right.
I'm literally just there in LA, like alone. I don't know anyone. Like it's during COVID. Like what am I supposed to do? So I'm like kind of going insane, and I don't really know why. Like I was never approached about like going to Serbia with Ricky. You would think you would put someone that like Ricky knows was on a team with, like to go with him.
Yeah.
Maybe like suggest it or something, but they didn't like give me the time of day for anything. Like the first boot camp I didn't go to or anything. I never like met anyone from that team. And so the team just never clicked that first iteration, especially because like I think Alex and S-Attack had such like differing views of the game and like what they wanted to do compared to Kassad, so that just never ended up working. I remember so like Kassad fucking leaves.
So why did Kassad leave? Because
That's
that
what I
was
was
the most
gonna ask,
interesting
yeah.
thing.
it was just like Kassad likes to like have a lot of control, I feel, over the game, and like he likes to like implement like a lot of his own defaults and like his own way of like playing and like what he wants to do. So I think
Right.
that's why he works really well with a guy like Azure, because I don't think a guy like Azure is like super involved in like the like server time aspect of it. You know what I mean? Like I don't think he has like a super set system that he's like, oh, we gotta do this, we gotta do this. He's not like an MSL or like a carrier
Or
or something.
yeah,
You
an
know what I mean?
MSL or an
Okay.
LXDB kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So he's more that like he works well with a coach like Kassad, because Kassad will kind of like create the system for him, and then Azure will just kind of like call around it, right?
Okay.
Whereas like Alex and Esatag were both very smart guys, and they had like Alex especially is like one of those guys that knows how he wants to play like the system he kind of like wants to create. He's very open minded, like he wants players and individuals to have freedoms, but he has like him and Esatag very much had like a way they wanted to play, and it didn't like work Kassad's way. So that just instantly didn't.
But why was
work.
that never brought up? I guess like initially, like
I guess maybe because it's so different versus like when you're just talking about shit compared to like when you actually like the team starts going and maybe like you lose a match or two, and then like the tension just starts getting like kind of like filled up in the air. You know what I mean?
I guess I think the funniest part was that like when we were all looking at it from the outside, you are building a coach with a team and you're announcing these players player by player by player. And it was like, what's happening here that you're already having, because it happened so fast. It wasn't like it was very quick. It was like all of a sudden Kassad is like, this is it. This is the entire situation.
Yeah, it was like
Kassad's
Kassad and
out.
Woxic were both out.
Right. And it was like, how are you're the
You know,
problem that
I remember-
had.
I remember when Zeppa, like the report came out on HLTV that like Zeppa was joining. I didn't even know what like Woxic was out of the team.
Oh my god!
no
yeah,
one,
I mean,
no
well,
one fucking told me
we were-
anything, man.
we were
Well,
literally,
And yet I was always accused of leaking shit, dude. I never leaked a single thing, but because I would like reply to Ryan sometimes on Twitter as like a funny haha thing, Henry just assumed I was leaking fucking everything to Ryan. It's
Oh,
the
God.
funniest thing.
What was the situation with Woxic? Was it just a case of like global pandemic?
Yeah, we
being-
never learned exactly what happened.
I don't think there's like a very specific thing, like, or a specific like moment. They just realized that like I guess they just didn't want to play with him. Like he's kind of stubborn, I feel. I mean, I actually kind of like Woxic. I like that he was so like vocal and like what he wanted to do.
Yeah,
But also I guess he just never was like, he wasn't really like playing that well online. Like he didn't really click much with the rest of the team and like the playstyle and everything.
they did
and also,
blame
I think-
online, and they blamed Ping, and everyone's response was, "Are you fucking joking? That's your response? You're
And
gonna
so,
cut a
like-
player for Ping?"
And so I think the
Like-
other thing they realized was that like they needed to get another American or something for like help Ricky to like put someone else there in Serbia with him, because I guess I'm just not there. I'm just invisible. It wasn't. So they get Zeppa, and then now the thing is like Esatag's gonna op, and because Esatag, because dude paid like obviously he didn't like pay the full thing like upfront or anything, like, but like 2.1
No, you
million for Esatag.
amortize it. You amortize it.
yeah.
But the problem is, you are still on the hook for these obligations.
Yeah, and
And it
people just
was-
see 2.1 million. You know what I mean? Like they don't.
Well, that
look
was the
through
thing.
anything else.
Right. They were like, here's the value of the deal. And they were all 3-year contracts, because that is how like Cloud9 operates for some
Yeah.
reason, is that they love to just hand out 3-year deals to no matter what, like for whatever. But they have when you cancel the deals, they're like, we can give you 1 month of severance. Like that's how, like I've seen these contracts, and like that's
Mhm.
usually how they do it. And
Yeah.
yeah, I remember there's like, oh, you spent 2.1. No, they didn't. The buyout is this. They spent that. That is gone. That is like, those are already under obligations. So they have to spend those things.
And that to
And-
me, like that, Esatag is a really good player. I really like him a lot. He's like super fucking smart. Sometimes he's almost like too smart for his own good. Like at the start of the team, because he had just come from Astralis and he was playing a lot of sites with Ricky.
Was it?
So-
But was he? He was the 6th man. Oh, sorry. You said Ricky.
No, Esatag,
And, like,
Esatag did play with them for like EPL or something, and he played really fucking good for Zipnix. And
Yeah,
so
but
that one
he
tournament,
should not have been worth $500,000. I think we
yeah.
can all agree on that.
because
That
the
was-
thing is that like I guess when Henry missed out on like, it was probably like Nico and fucking Hunter or something. Like I don't know exactly what happens, to be honest, because like I said, I wasn't like that involved.
yeah.
So I think he kind of like panicked, and like he felt like he needed to like make a big purchase, like a big name or something, and so that's the name. I think they were trying to get rid of Zitnix at the time too.
Yeah, that was very obvious from the outside.
There was.
especially when they
I
had
do
Bubsy.
remember those rumors of like
so they
Cloud9
signed
getting
Esatag
Zipfix.
for 2.1 million because you're getting a guy from Astralis, right? He just played really well. Everyone's assuming this guy's like on the fucking come up, and but like the roles he plays in and like the roles he was good at in Astralis were like he was just like a really good role player. You know what I mean? Like he was really good at like anchoring sites by himself and like playing these lurk spots and just like a super like just like a super good player to have in those spots. Like you super privileged, right? As a team if you have him in those. But the thing is that like if we paid him and like how the team was set up, and the shit we had, like we had to put Esatag in like all the fucking like he's expected to be the star, right? So he's like all the star roles, like he's like on the pack on T side, he's playing like all the star roles on like CT side, and like he wasn't bad or anything. He was just like good though, you know, like it wasn't like 2.1 million's worth. It wasn't like
Yeah,
it wasn't like
I
enough
think that
fragging
was the-
output for that.
I think
He
that was the
shouldn't-
problem.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been like your centerpiece, but that he kind of got. It looked like he just got shoehorned into that role, which is unfortunate because like so many people talk about Esatag being like this fantastic teammate and fantastic player, but when you look at his career since Heroic, he's just getting bounced around between teams like Heroic, Complexity, NIP, Cloud9. Like he's never actually found a home where he can have like an extended period of just being that really solid anchor player. So
Yeah, I've always felt bad for him in that aspect, but at least he's getting the fucking bag, so you know, it is what it is.
I mean, yeah, now he's not where he's just been cut from
on the bench for a minute.
He's
NIP.
bencher. I think isn't he free from NIP? Isn't that
No, I
the
think he's
case,
still
or-
under contract because he was loaned out to FaZe for that other blast
Oh, yeah.
round.
So then we
all of
had,
it,
like-
none of it. This is easy and or good. This is all tough.
Yeah, and so like Floppy just wasn't really playing well because he was just unhappy with like where he was,
Yeah.
just sitting inside all day. Like I remember, like just never understood. Like I don't give a fuck, dude. Like I remember we had a meeting with like it was like me, Elma, and Henry,
Okay.
and like we had a fucking meeting, and we're like, dude, like Rookie's like so like upset, like he's like he's not enjoying this. Like we have to figure out some way to like help him or like what we can do. Like so, what I eventually ended up was gonna do was that like I was gonna fucking move to Serbia because like I'm miserable in LA, like living here alone. Like I don't want to fucking be here. Like,
Right.
this is awful. He'd be like, you know, it's Serbia. Like you know, it's like, dude, I know. Like I would rather
Right.
be with Ricky and Eric in Serbia than living in this fucking guest house by myself with nothing to do. Like, you know what I mean? Working from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. There's
Miserable.
no point at which I can go to sleep and the sun is still up. Like, it's
Yeah.
the worst. So we have a meeting and we're like talking about it. And Henry's like, well, I don't understand what the problem is. When I was his age, I just wanted to stay inside and play video games all day. And I was just like, dude, like, that's not the point. Like, also, like, you're not living in like a foreign country by yourself. Like, this,
That's
it's just a different person. Like, you can't just.
that's
It's like-
tough.
And so I was just like whatever, dude. Like, so I was gonna move to Serbia, and then eventually, like before I could, like the team got like fucking dropped or whatever. But like the whole thing was just like a fucking mess. And I think the team could have turned out eventually if like maybe like 1 or 2 more roster changes to get like a roster that actually made sense, like an Opera, fucking I don't know what else you would have had to do. Like I don't know if Zeppa and Floppy would have been able to like be long-term options playing in EU with an EU team like that. I don't think they really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because I also think because of like Floppy's like situation, he also just never really enjoyed being in a team, and like he kind of took things the wrong way sometimes. Like Esatag, I'd like just come from Astral, so he'd be playing sides with Floppy, and like Esatag sometimes is like he gives like too much detail. You know what I mean? Like he'll be like,
Yeah.
so like if you're in banana here, like you should have taken like, you know, when they mollied card, maybe like take 3 steps to the right and then like throw a flash like 40 degrees off this wall and then, you know, hold this angle from like 70 degrees past the wall and then you would have killed him. And like the way he's like explaining shit just makes Floppy feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
And so he's just like losing confidence. He's just not enjoying himself. He feels like Alex and Esatag are like kind of like targeting him. And I never felt like that. Like I really did like Alex and I felt like he was doing a good job. He was always trying to be like, he was always trying to get Floppy to just like, bro, like do whatever the fuck you want. Like if you want to buy another op, like buy another op. If you want to push, then fucking push. If you want to go for the fight, then, you know, do whatever you want. Like, you know, trying to encourage people to do their thing. But the team environment, everything just never ended up clicking. And so
Yeah. So
obviously shit happened.
I want to kind of move as we have other things to talk about, but like
Mhm.
when that project basically got canceled and that announcement came out of the blue.
Yeah.
Like, did you have any knowledge beforehand? Did you know what was going on there?
No, so literally, the first thing I heard about it, Ryan, was from you. I heard about it 2 hours before Henry fucking told me, and then I don't care. I heard about it 2 hours before Henry fucking told me. Ryan messaged me. I was like, and Ryan could told. I said I haven't fucking heard a thing. I was like, I
I
have
thought
no
you were
idea.
bullshitting me too the entire
And I
time.
wasn't bullshitting.
I
And
was
then
like,
Henry gets me into a call, tells me the team is dropped, and then I get a message 15 fucking minutes later from Henry accusing me of leaking to Ryan. And I was like, are you fucking kidding? Like, this guy literally knew before me.
that is unfortunately how I was very much on top of my game back then. That was I had
You just assumed everything you knew was coming from me. That's so fucking funny.
this is the best part is that it wasn't. It
No,
really
none of-
like it was it was very yeah, it was a lot of that team. I think more people talked on that team than I think I've ever experienced in my life. That team constantly was telling other people their business. That team is constantly complaining. It was like
Dude,
it was
they showed me a
and it
text
was
once.
everyone. It
They
was
showed me a text once, and they were like, "I think we have a rat amongst us." And I was like, "You mean fucking everyone on the team?" Like,
It was
who
bad.
isn't talking?
I mean, I don't the
You think
That's
Alex
how
isn't
you-
like straight up going to know the second he hears about it? Like, give me a fucking break now. Like,
the whole team. That's how you unfortunately know when a team is just bad from the start, is when all of it's getting aired out. And it like wasn't particularly hard to like figure out what was going on. The only hard like we're hearing shit about like Zippix to Cloud9, like it was nuts. And like that stuff, you don't those rumors don't come out anymore. Teams have learned to shut the fuck up, and it's made our jobs much harder.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Cloud9 ends, and then now you're going to Valorant, basically. Like what?
no, I went to Nordivan first.
You went to Nordivan. Oh my god!
I had,
What
I
a
had,
You went to
team.
I had-
Nordivan.
I had a
They
great
took the
streak of
team.
luck here. I had a great streak of luck here, right? So I joined the team. I joined. It's like May or something. The team was like falling apart around me already. Like this guy wanted to cut this guy. This guy wanted to cut this guy. You know, like they all like at each other's throats. Like the team isn't fucking working. And so I actually managed to like get them all in the same. Like I actually feel like I did a pretty good fucking job. Like I got them all on the same page again. They didn't want to cut each other anymore. Like I joined and we like instantly beat like 3 top 30 teams and like 3 BO3s in a row. And then I did kind of struggle to like kind of keep the team together because there were still pieces that were like
Right.
kind of like coming unglued and stuff and shit. So I had to figure out like the team environment, the chemistry, and what I wanted to do moving forward. So I got like a month with that team. I had like 5 practice days total with that team, right?
And
and
then didn't
then-
they all get dropped?
Yeah, and then the team gets dropped. Like 2 weeks after I signed, the team got new owners, and then the new owners were like, "Actually, we don't want this team, so we're just gonna fucking drop them." And I'm just like, "Are you fucking kidding?" Like, can
I will say you've had probably the hardest career out of anyone I've ever seen, like in my life. So
And then, like the thing was like they wanted to keep me for like the Brazilian team because I really
and
liked
you were
the
just like,
GM.
I don't care.
Yeah, the managing director of North, like, I really like that org. I really do. I love that org. They're a really fucking good org. And so they wanted to keep me. It's just, and like I appreciated that, but it's just like it wasn't like the Taco or Cold lineup even yet. It was just straight up like the KNG, like Kogu as coach,
Yeah.
like type thing. And like I could barely talk to them. Like I didn't know like what I was supposed to be doing. Like, are they gonna like read my notes? Like, do they give a fuck about anything I have to say? Like, I don't. I guess I could just sit here and like steal a paycheck, but like I just didn't want to like. I don't know. It just felt like such a waste of time, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have, in hindsight. I still don't think it would have worked out because they just weren't going to listen to a word I say. But, like, you know, it was what it was. Then I went to Valorant.
There you go. So
After
Valorant
games.
happens. We don't have to talk about the awful game.
Yeah.
And you're back. And you're with Detonate. You've only joined like extremely recently.
like,
It's
less
been
than 2
another one
months.
of your week-long stints. And in that stint, you have qualified for the RMR spectacularly. And as of right now, you did not make playoffs, according to last night's game where you lost to Timbermen. But with Pain, I guess, in Pro League, that remains to be seen what's happening there. Regardless, you're going to an RMR for, I think, what is your first time in your career.
I went to the one with United, but this is actually
That would have been
First
a minor,
time-
right?
yeah the
That was a
Berlin minor.
Yes, so
Yeah.
this is technically an RMR for the
Yeah,
first
wait,
time.
You want to hear a good story about that minor real quick?
Sure, let's go.
So this is like classic NA shit, dude. You're gonna love this, all right? So
I'm
we
gonna
get
love
we
it.
get to the fucking minor, right? Our first match is against INTZ, I think.
Okay.
I might be thinking of someone else, but it was a team of Phelps. So Phelps was on this team, right? And so
Okay.
we ended up losing this game like 16-12 or 16-13.
Wait,
So before
is
the
this the 2019 Berlin?
Yeah. 2019 Berlin, yeah. In between like Liquid's Grand Slam, basically, as that's
Okay.
going on. So
As I pull this
we,
up, I'm so curious.
it's like our first day. We're gonna play INTZ. Definitely a winnable matchup. But then like before the match, like Moose was like tilted out of his mind because he didn't like the desk height and like the desks weren't adjustable.
I remember
Sure.
something about this.
And so Moose is like completely tilted like before the match because he hates the desk height. So Moose ends up going like 10 and 21 or something. And so like if he just hadn't been tilted, we probably win that match. And so Furia ended up also losing their opening match, which is really unfortunate. So I think the first match was against LG actually, and so we had the chance to play INTZ to go to the playoffs and potentially qualify for a fucking major. But unfortunately, we lose that match. And then we go on the next day. Furia lost their match. So we have to play Furia in the fucking losers BO3, which is just, fucking death sentence basically. And so we lose that match. We're just out of the fucking minor. Oh well, it is what it is. Yeah, like I was just such like a classic like NA thing. And then I'm pretty sure the only person that got any part of the blame for like us losing at that event was me. That team just blamed me entirely because I wanted to like do prep on teams, and they felt like I was like doing too much, and I feel like I wasn't even like doing that much. Honestly, I was like, it's pretty simple shit. And then,
I feel like as the coach, you probably should have gone out and made sure that there was adjustable desks. So that is on you in a sense.
That's true. Well, actually, A2Z was the coach at the time, and he watched one demo total the entire time we were there, so that's cool. So yeah, so we just went there.
Well.
it was an experience for sure. And then after that point, like they were supposed to make me coach after that fucking event. Like I had a call with them, like they're like, all right, let's do this. So it's gonna happen. And then they just never did it. And then instead they signed like I remember I gave up on that team when they signed Freakazoid instead of Floppy. Just like, dude, this shit's not going anywhere. And then I went to New York, and then we failed again. And I saw that like they were never gonna change. And I was like, all right, I'm out of here, dude. I'm gonna go work with ATK for free.
All right, so back with Detonate, you qualified for the RMR. How's the team been so far? How have you felt that like things have changed, and how have I guess you been working with this team to make them into a top contender technically on the North American stage?
Yeah, I mean after the RMR, it's been pretty tough honestly because I think these guys and this team just in general are kind of now playing with expectations on themselves that they've never had before. Like even like when I first came in and like the only person that's like had like a ton of experience, not like even like a ton, but like has like some experience on like a team on this level is like Slight with Strife and some of the runs that they had.
Yeah.
So, but, even he like they never like made the only thing they made was like that EPL conference or whatever, and they played like Tyloo or something. So, like a good experience, but not something like with like as much opportunities like the RMR, like as big as it. Like we do have like a legitimate chance to qualify this, and so I think like the fact that like we beat ATK in a BO3 and EPL, which is like the first time these guys have like beat a team like that in like a BO3. We fucking like we qualified for the RMR. We beat Nouns. We beat ATK again. We beat Timberman. And so I these past couple weeks have been like kind of tough because I think everyone's learning to like play with like expectations on themselves like as a team that they've never really experienced before. And so it's been like pretty rough. Like last week we played like the Ace Masters event or whatever, and I think we lost to Ur, and we lost to Ur and Strife. I'm pretty sure that was a bit tough because we had been on like a 5-day break because someone was like had a vacation like already planned or whatever. Yeah. So obviously sometimes you just come back here a bit rusty. The match against Timberman was pretty rough. We kind of have like this thing right now where like we did this against Kane and Team 1 as well, where we won map 1. We had like a really close map 2, and then we get to map 3 and we kind of just get shut out and we aren't really able to pull it together for a full 3 maps.
It's unfortunate.
It's kind of like the big thing where we have to like really be able to do is like actually like close the shit out. And so for me, I'm trying not to panic. Like one thing I need to like make sure the guys are doing is like not placing like expectations on themselves. Like you don't want to go into a match like expecting that like you're gonna win, you're gonna lose. You're just gonna like play your fucking best, right? And whatever the Counter-Strike gods have in store for you is just what they have in store, and you just gotta fucking accept it. Whether it's you start down like 0-8 and you gotta come back into a game or something, you know what I mean? Like you just have to keep fucking playing. And so I think it's a struggle to like get into like a consistent zone. Like we're still struggling with experience and like making enough plans like as a team, especially in like the mid to late round. That's something that's really tough for a team to learn to do. We're having to adjust to I think teams are like watching our demos a bit more and like kind of like really preparing and like trying to anti-strat us, and so we have to like really pay attention to like what we've been doing and like how we're gonna change it up. So I'm not saying like all the events beforehand are like worthless and just we don't have to care about, but absolutely like I do think that all of these events, their most usefulness and like it's just getting playing time before the RMR, before LAN, before the fucking major, because at the end of the day, like that is pretty much the biggest opportunity you can have, and I feel like there is a legitimate chance that our team can win a couple games, maybe win a couple games that we shouldn't, maybe just improve enough that we are beating these teams, like Brazilian teams, like we just have to get over this fucking hump.
Yeah.
And just one thing fucking goes your way and you can be in a fucking major, and I think that's absolutely life-changing for all these players. And so
yeah, absolutely.
You don't want to place
sticker.
Like,
that sticker money would be crazy, and I can't even. And especially for an organization like Detonate, I can't even imagine what that would mean for the organization, because I know that it's pretty bootstrapped. It's not like this is like paying these guys like thousands a month.
Yeah, like I'm still working like another job at the moment, just because. I mean, for money, but also just because like I like the social aspect of actually getting out of my fucking house and off my computer. So
we're Detonate.
Learn something from the pandemic, have you?
Yeah.
We're Detonate the only team that kind of approached you to come back to CS, or like was there other offers for like top ECL teams or even above that?
So I was actually one of the final two candidates for like the EG assistant coach spot. Didn't end up getting that. I think honestly, as much as like I was kind of devastated to not get that, because I did feel like I was like the best candidate, or at least the smartest one, but then
we're
like
technically going to the major, and they're not. So.
Yeah, but like the thing was just that like it was still like this thing of like where I often like the only person that like didn't believe like in what I was saying was myself. You know what I mean? Like it seems like everyone else around me like fully believes in like the shit I say and like what sometimes like the person that doubted me was just my fucking self, and I'm like, do I even know what I'm fucking talking about, or am I just like delusional? You know what I mean?
We all love a bit of imposter syndrome, so
exactly. And so like after that and like with Detonate, I was just like, all right, whatever, dude. Like I'm just gonna fucking, if I'm an idiot, then I'm an idiot. I really don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna do whatever I want. and if not, I'll go do something else. Like I still want to go be a fucking pro wrestler someday, or like, I want to do like lighting. It's like there's so many things I want to do. I love Counter-Strike, but yeah, like so it was mostly that EG, and then it's mostly just the EG thing. There's like a little small opportunity with Cold. I mean, I feel like obviously like if there's ever an opening there, like I obviously most likely would end up on Cold. You know what I mean? Like it's just there's just my friends. Like like I fucking love those guys. Like even I've helped them when they were on Cold and I had nothing to do. I've helped them on Extra Salt. Like like I'm always like just going through and like helping those guys because I mean Tion fucking made me. Let's be real. Like that guy made my career.
All right, let's talk about Pro League stuff because we have a bunch of stuff to talk about so far. 0 Nation and Pain. Surprising that they've made it both through. I thought that 0 Nation were gonna be like, I thought Pain was probably the best out of like the bottom tier bunch, and I just did not expect them to actually all get to the position where they could make it. So I don't really have any good comments. I think 0 Nation has been interesting, fulfilling the roles without Taco. And it's kind of interesting to see what they'll do in playoffs. I don't know. I don't expect them to get far, but it's nice to see them get out of groups.
What the fuck are Ninjas in Pajamas and OG doing? Like, what the fuck is going on? Everyone's like, oh yeah, they had a stand-in. Fucking 0 Nation didn't even have their IGL. Like, Pain only made changes like before this event. Like,
Pain is weird because like I feel like Pain is really able to like play up or down to level their opponents a lot of the time. Like you'll see them like even of us like we almost like fucking beat Pain, and EPL obviously it's online so it's not the same. But so the fact that like we can go like toe to toe with these teams and then they go to like Europe and they don't like struggle like they struggle but they're doing like decent, like they're winning matches, like they're getting pretty far. 0 Nation, I honestly was also surprised that they got so far, especially like with a different roster because they just struck like they almost went out like fucking 0-3.
They were in that last chance against Rooster, which they had to come all the way back Like they had to make a miraculous comeback on Inferno, and then they were able to secure the next one. And then they play Greyhound, and again, it looks like they're going to lose to Greyhound because Greyhound beat them the second time, and then they have to go and play Nip. Like 0-0 Nation's route was one of the more insane routes that they've like had to take in this.
I do still hate the fucking group system. I think it's so stupid. Like playing the same team twice in the group. Like you go down to this last chance stage from a lower bracket. So there's an even lower bracket than the lower bracket. I just think it's so stupid at the moment.
Yeah, I remember like I was I thought there was like something I thought was like eliminated. Might have been Cole, but I was like, oh, they have to play again? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was
Complexity,
EG. I was like,
Complexity
holy
had
shit.
to play. They get the Complexity loses twice. Then they had to play big like once more, and it was like, really, like maybe they can win. We hope they can win. It's not happening. It was all just all sorts of messed up.
They've managed to make Pro League even less of a league than it was previously.
It's not a league anymore.
It's not a league.
Because
IM
that's the
multi.
thing, is that it's like, yeah, it's like ECL's great and all, but like I'm not gonna like fucking treat it as like some like thing that's like so much more important than everything else. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's basically just it's a nice way of like playing matches that like do mean something and like having like consistent season. That's obviously important, right? But at the end of the day, like it is just like this like long ass season, long ass playoffs just to get into like what's basically just another like IEM event at this point. You know what I mean? Like it's not
Right.
like it used to.
It would
like,
be.
used
It
to
would
mean, like,
mean more if it was a consistently structure that was being played. Like when they did the Louvre agreement, it killed NA.
Yeah.
It effectively killed NA. And
because it used to be
now
like
it
you got
doesn't
into
mean
fucking you got into like Pro League, NA Pro League, and now you're gonna get to play
Right.
like all the good teams in NA, and like and you're there, like you have to get relegated to fucking
right,
drop
and
out.
you
And, like
had good
and anyone
sponsors,
get-
and you
yeah.
had like major things, and it was like, oh, these top 4 teams are actually going to go to then this very high produced playoff. Like it was a good thing, and it was a good league system, and they just said fuck it, and they killed it, and they moved everyone down to ECL, and it was brutal, and I remember it, and I will never forgive. That is till the day I die the worst thing that they've ever done, and I can't
that
believe
at the same time as like fucking Valorant coming out. Just
It was the perfect storm.
What were they gonna
do?
do?
Also, running it back to our discussion from last week, Ryan briefly touching on ECL. Bring back a global challenge. Thoughts?
God, at this point, it doesn't even matter to me, man. Like, I don't even care if they
No,
bring back Global Challenge. I
Nick,
thought
what's your
I got
thought?
well, I was gonna say when I went to Dallas with the C9 Valorant team, we like stayed like by like the hotel where ESCI used to be and like Global Challenge and stuff. So I felt like that almost felt like for some reason like a religious experience for me. I was like, this is it. This is like the hotel, man. This is like where all the ESCA lands and shit used to happen. It was like just funny, but yeah. I don't know. Like I still think it's just like a really long qualification to what's just like just another thing. You know what I mean? It's just the matches are nice, but like I can get the same effect basically by playing fucking the IEM Dallas qualifier. And obviously, I mean, we didn't get to fucking play it because someone was out, but there's so many fucking qualifiers and so many different events that I don't want to like oh, ESL Pro League is like our focus and like this is where we have to get and this is how we make it. You know what I mean? I just don't think that's really true anymore. It's just about getting to as many events as you can, trying to like break into like a fucking barrier, and then yeah, it's also really tough to Louvre agreement because you can't just like you have to like get a partner or something. Otherwise, you're always just gonna be like struggling to find events and shit. Like say like Team Spirit or something.
All right, trying to move on because we have a lot to get through and stuff. Looking ahead right now, currently Rare Atom and Liquid and ATK versus ENCE.
Liquid is down.
Right now, Rare Atom
Atom
is kicking Liquid's ass, which is
What is going on?
actually terrifying. This is really bad because I made a comment to Pimp when he was like, yeah, I think Liquid are going to finish like maybe 4th, maybe 5th. And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, ENCE don't look that good. I totally think Liquid are going to do it, even though they start slow. And now they're going to lose.
They're going to lose this match, and then they're going to play like, they're going to beat like whatever like top 10 European
I think they
team
have to
play
play.
next.
I think they play ATK.
Okay, well
I
they'll
think
murder ATK. I'm sorry.
They'll murder ATK because they know ATK.
Yeah, they
and
know ATK.
It's not going to be pretty. But I look at this and I'm like, Ykinder left a major winning team for this, and I just feel bad. Like here's the weirdest thing is that the upper bracket legitimately could be Rare Atom versus Ents, Spirit versus Fours, and then in the lower bracket it's Liquid versus ATK and Astralis versus Navi. It's the dumbest
Damn, that's like,
dumbest bracket matchups that we could have had.
But
what
dude,
happens if ATK beat Ents now and it's ATK Rare Atom for an upper bracket final?
I will lose
dude,
my mind.
ATK, if they want to have like a miraculous run at this event, it starts with beating Ents, which like isn't likely, but also I don't think is impossible. But like if you don't lose ATK is gonna be looking at, okay, now you have to play Liquid in the loser bracket. Okay, now if you lose this game, you have to play Astralis or Navi. So have fun with that.
Like I was like holding out hope. I was like, you know what, ATK, they could give Rare Atom a run for the money. Like this might be a good matchup. No, fuck this. This is so stupid. All this is dumb. Like this is just I hate it. I hate it. And yeah, it's 4-10 right now on the ATK Ents game. That is
Oh, that's on CT side Anubis though, which is incredibly T-sided. So they're not doing too bad.
you know what? Listen, none of it just is good to me. All of this is bad. I hate it. I hate it. It's bad. Taco out for the major, out for the RMRs. How do we think 00 Nation, because they qualified as well to the RMR mix, as you will be at the RMR? Do you think that this is like, considering maybe that 00 Nation kind of got hot at Pro League? Are you like kind of worried, or do you think that like in the long run, do you think they'll get found out for not having Taco's dedicated IGL-ness?
I mean, it might help them just because like whatever like they were doing just doesn't help, and like kind of when like you're playing with like a stand-in now, right? It kind of helped like you have like a new iteration of the team, and also you don't necessarily have like as much pressure. I feel like they feel like a lot of pressure on themselves with that team because they haven't been able to like deliver results. It's kind of getting worse. So maybe just not having that on themselves can help a bit. But yeah, I'm not sure like how to go with like cold calling long term. These are like at the RMR, just like so many like different. There's like what, like 4 or 5 NA teams there, and then the rest are all just like Brazilian teams. Yeah. So it's like I try not to like think about or worry about too much about all like the different Brazilian teams, just because there's just too much to think about in that aspect. So I'm just thinking about like our team and like what we need to do, and then I don't think we know for sure our first matchup, but it's probably gonna be like against like Imperial. I think it's like most likely. Just based off like how we've looked at the scene and stuff. Obviously that could be wrong, but you know, there's gonna be like so many different Brazilian teams we have to play, and then it's just, you know, whatever. Like we're just gonna have to fucking do our thing, play whoever we want to play. And so to be honest, I haven't really like, I was thinking about it a lot, like right after we qualified for the RMR, and I was thinking about all the different Brazilian teams, and I was like, all right, I gotta like chill the fuck out because I'm gonna like stress myself out thinking about all this shit. I'm just gonna like relax and just focus on like what we're gonna do.
That makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Any other comments, Liam?
Yeah, I think with 00 Nation, like losing Taco, I think for a while there they had something really good going with the way that Taco was calling, like around like the younger players. They've obviously only brought NQZ in very recently, so it's still kind of a fresh team. One thing I hope that doesn't happen is that they kind of like internalize that result from EPL. It's great that they've made playoffs, but realistically, they scraped wins against 2 Australian teams, which on a normal basis, with Taco, they probably should be beating at that level. And they beat a bad NIP team, which great result. Like NIP are in a complete mess at the moment, but still big names. So I hope they don't kind of internalize and say like, oh, this is really working with Cold. Like this is exactly what we're going to be doing all the time now. Because at the end of the day, it is still one tournament. And that's my kind of worry now, is that Cold's gonna be like looking at himself in the mirror and be like, "Oh, I'm back, baby! Like I'm calling, I'm calling out of my mind. Like I don't need Taco." That's the one thing that I'd be worried about.
Cold Zera's back, baby.
Cold Zera is.
He's here.
But that's the thing, is like we know that he had like he earned his star player ego back in the day. Like he was trying to take the AWP off Fallen and stuff. So I'm just very worried that if they lose faith in Taco because of this one result of beating 2 Australian teams, so. But yeah, that's all I was
struggling at NIP.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's the thing, is like, is this Pro League? What's going to be remembered more, NIP losing, or like if Liquid lose to Rare Atom?
Probably Liquid losing to Rare Atom.
Great, good. That's
it also depends on like Liquid's perform. Like if Liquid loses a Rare Atom and then still qualifies anyways, it'll just be like typical Liquid, you know, type thing. And then, but if they like lose the Rare Atom and then they get eliminated, it's like, oh shit, this team kind of sucks.
Which, I think is about to happen once again as they now go down 7-0. I can't handle this. I hate North American Counter-Strike. That's great. Phenomenal. We love that. So Source 2. I don't buy it. I don't
Me
believe
neither.
it. I believe in none of it.
So what do you mean? There's like so much
None of it's real. All of it is real. All of it is fake. It is untrue. The media is trying to distract you from the purpose of North American evil geniuses, and they're trying to
Yo,
I gotta
poison
say, though,
your young
1 second.
minds.
Wait, one thing I
What?
wanted to mention real quick.
Oh,
Like, a
no.
little off topic, but like if I joined EG as assistant coach, holy shit, dude! I don't know where I would be mentally right now. All I know is that I would be absolutely mentally fucking destroyed. Like I would be like, why
you'd
is this
probably
happening
be
sad.
everywhere I
You'd
go?
probably No, so first the story came out that it was Counter-Strike 2, but now it basically is like it's not Counter-Strike 2. It's just Source 2. Like that's it. Like that's all that it seemingly is. Which like
I mean, I
Okay.
could still see them like renaming it just like Counter Strike. You know what I mean? They just want like a little rebrand.
like
They
I
just
guess
feel
if
like
they're
that's
just like
they just feel like that's their brand, right? It's like it's not
Right.
a little offensive. It's just Counter Strike. You know what I mean?
right, which I think everyone says that 1.6 was so huge and so big. It is a fraction of how big it was now. Like now it is
Mm.
effectively a $1 billion business.
Yeah.
Like it literally is. ESL gets bought
compared
for $1
to,
billion.
like, I think
and-
also it's just like compared to like where all other esports were at the time. Like what was the other? What else was big around?
StarCraft.
StarCraft, obviously. Is that it? Like Counter Strike and
Like,
StarCraft.
it was
were the
StarCraft.
the big ones.
It was very early on. Like
I
it's
think
not-
StarCraft was way bigger than Counter Strike, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
StarCraft was
It
huge.
was massive, especially
was
in like
esport.
East Asia.
So I think for me, like with Source 2, I think the biggest thing that matters to me, like beyond anything else, is just having like an actual fucking ranked matchmaking system similar to Valorant. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's
Yeah.
what casual players want. That's what gets them interested in playing the game consistently. You know, it's like having
There
like,
is one.
Yeah, there is one, but it's shit. Like even though
It
like
sucks.
even though most people are never going to be competing for like top 100 on a leaderboard, right? If you actually like have that still, for some reason it just like increases this like incentive for like everyone else below that to like keep playing. You know, like look how many fucking streamers are like always streaming like Valorant ranked. Like fucking, you have Hassan streaming fucking Valorant ranked all the time. Like you have like Pokimane. You know what I mean? It's like, do you think any of them would be like streaming this game if they had to go to like fucking a third party system like Faceit to?
No, because
have,
they
like-
don't know.
Yeah,
And they're
'cause
like,
they
why
don't-
do I
they
have to pay for it?
They don't want to
It
do
doesn't
that.
make any
Like they
sense.
don't want to go to like a third party website to like find a game. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think especially in North America, that's something that, like really hurts the game and like the talent. Because like one thing about North America, right, is that like you're always going to North America is always gonna be like more, I guess, like individualism than like Europe is. That's just like how it is. And so that's gonna have its drawbacks, and that's also going to have its times where it really fucking clicks and creates a team like, you know, like 2019 Liquid, where it's like, yes,
Right.
it's like it's a team like they're very much individuals, and they're maybe not a style that like I like because I'm typically like more European. But it's undeniable that like if you get like the right set of players like that and they click together, that like they can do like some insane fucking shit, right? And so
Right.
that's like the upside of like NACS. But the problem is that when you have like no matchmaking system and you have no people like consistently playing the game, like really getting into it, you know, you're just not getting like the amount of
But the
talent that you
Source-
should be getting.
Source 2 doesn't like change that though. That's
No,
what
but
I
I
think
think-
like some
but it
issues
can be
are
a
is that like
platform for them.
it's not that Source 2 I feel like is being this, it's the end all everything. Everything that's ever been on a wish list is changing. I don't know what Source 2 means anymore because everyone's like, oh well, it's obviously going to include all of this. It's obviously going to include everything like that. I don't think that's the case.
I think at the very
It's-
least, I do think the matchmaking system will get a complete revamp. I think that is.
But why would so my other thing is why would that be part of a Source 2 update? Why can't it not just be part of like, hey guys,
So from what I've heard, at least, is that like even from like the Richard Lewis article or whatever, right? It's just that, dude, like the source, like the people that made Counter Strike or like CS:GO originally, like on this fucking engine, is that like the engine is just the game is just so fucking like poorly coded and just so fucking messed up that I imagine that like trying to like change the matchmaking system it's just like fucking impossible for some reason. Like within this, or just like too much work to be worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they have to like, when they'd rather just focus on something else that has like more long term value. I guess. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe it'll come out and just be fucking global elite still when nothing matters, and no
I
one will
love-
care. And still, the only streamer that will play Counter Strike Global Offensive is Lyric. Shout out to Lyric for keeping NA matchmaking alive. But yeah,
one thing I love about the whole situation is like how much hype has been put into Source 2. Like, Source 2 is an engine. But I love how simple of a community we are that we're freaking out over a 9-year-old engine finally being implemented into the game. Like, I looked
Yeah.
it up. I was like, wait, when did Source 2 engine come out? Like, surely it was like 2017, 2018. It's 2014. It's nearly 10 years old. And we're finally maybe getting it in. And the other thing is, Tuesday night maintenance on Steam. Anyone who's listening that doesn't know that exists, please stop fucking tweeting when Steam goes down or Counter-Strike goes down for maintenance on Tuesday night, because until Source 2
to be
comes out,
fair, that's different because like people aren't just reacting to Steam going down; they were reacting to something actually being updated, which is the fucking Wicked player guy. Like,
no, but
Actually-
that was, people were freaking out. So like it had gone down first, and then everyone started freaking out, and then that
Yeah.
other one came out. So I was seeing people freaking out from it going down. I was like, this is just going to be every Tuesday night until it comes out.
yeah, but I think for the most part, it kind of stems from like whenever a Wicked player posts like an imminent major update, because they are like updating all this shit. Like I feel like, to me, I know you guys are still skeptical, but it is like undeniable that they are getting ready to do this shit, and so it is happening. Like it is undoubtedly.
I'm just
happening.
already
Sure,
fed up
but
with
I
the
just
hype.
great. It's happening. I just there's so much information about it. The problem, what the problem is? It's the same reason that the Cloud9 roster Colossus died. It's so overhyped, and then it doesn't perform, and I don't care anymore. Like,
Yeah.
Listen,
if
listen.
it's not,
There's a
if it's
matchmaking
not
system.
earning me
It'll
crypto
be all
money,
worth it. I promise you.
Wait,
it's not
wait,
earning
up
me
when it's
crypto
here,
money as I
basically.
play and like telling me how cool I am every single day in its welcome message when I boot up the game. Like, do I care? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just it's becoming so much and it's consuming so much of our attention. Yes, it's great. Game is alive. Yes, it's great that all these things are happening. I just see this game and I'm like, can we all take a 5-second breather to figure out what are we actually expecting from this? What should it actually improve?
No.
And then what are the downsides? The devs have done some genuinely weird shit. They could really like mess this up. There's some interview that Pasha did, which I think we're going to write about. And he was like, yeah, there's sliding in the game. What do you mean there's sliding in the game? That's happening? Why?
Nah, he
Why
was
is that
joking.
happening?
It'll be
Well,
fine,
like,
I
it's
promise.
the revolver all over again.
It'll be good. I'm gonna stay optimistic. I
No.
think it'll be good.
I-
Honestly, more than anything, what I just want to happen just one fucking time is I just want Valve to replace like 4 maps from the map pool at the same time. I feel like that would be so much fun.
They need to
It'd be
replace
so
one
interesting.
every 6 months.
No, just dude, replace 2.
Replace 2 every 6 months? No,
Yes,
I think in
let's
the
make it
current
interesting,
competitive
man.
sphere, it has to be 1.
What? Why can't it be 2?
It's
You
too
have like
many.
your choice. Like which map? No, it's not. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
dude, it'd be sick. It'd be great.
You're wrong. You're
You
just
could replace
wrong.
4 maps, and I think it'd be fucking fun.
Are we gonna have to change the website name if we get Dust 3?
Oh my god. We get Dust 3, I'm over it.
Yeah.
Besides, we don't even change it. At this point, HLTV is starting Dust 2 India. We have Dust 2 DK. We have Dust 2 Brazil. We're going to have 4 Dust 2 sites. We can't change the name at this point. The branding is too expansive.
It is Dust 2. Is what it is.
It'll be Dust 2. All right. Any other closing thoughts as I literally am just like watching it on my side monitor. I'm just seeing the annihilation. I
Yeah,
can't.
they're just gonna shitting on.
They went around.
It's so bad.
Yo,
so
they
bad.
went around.
We've won 2, but that's
Oh,
all that we're
I-
gonna probably get. Like, this is. I can't
Well,
wait for my
if they win
next
this
week's-
round,
next
still in
week's
it.
pod is gonna be great.
Liquid.
Actually,
It was overpassed that they came back against Vitality on
Yeah,
weeks, wasn't it?
I'm
Yeah, so it's
really
fine.
thinking that this is gonna work out well for me.
This is fine. Nah, I don't really have too many closing thoughts. Like, I'm gonna go watch the Liquid game after this, and yeah, cry.
And anything from you, Josh? Any comments? Any last parting thoughts? I know that you've had a lot to say, and I think people are gonna find this very interesting to hear your comments about the Colossus and what's all
listen,
happened.
man, you can take whatever comments I made and make into whatever article you want. I do not.
Well, we
give
will.
a
Oh, I
fuck.
am. Don't worry. I'm
You-
fully planning on it.
I remember I had like an interview with Jeff, right? And it was going on Dust 2, so I'm like, what can I say to give him like some good fucking clickbait? You know what I mean? Like what's a good fucking headline?
You're
And
the
so I came up
worst.
with the Valorant feels artificial to me, and that was a fucking banger. So
That
you know what,
it
dude?
is pretty
Whatever
good.
happens, whatever drama starts, I do not fucking care. You do whatever you want.
What a guy.
What a guy.
This is why
All
we
right.
appreciate you, Josh.
If it gets
Well-
too bad, I'll just delete social media and go away forever. All right?
Move to Serbia and turn off your phone.
I'll be
God.
just
All right.
fine.
Well,
Don't worry about
Josh,
it.
thank you so much for joining me on this. Liam, you and I can now go die watching Liquid. Everyone else, appreciate everything you've been able to tuning in. Make sure you always tune in to Dust2.us for all of your North America coverage, where this game recap is going to be amazing. I'm going to be so happy writing this.
I'm excited for that.
I'm just, it's going to be like 5 lines. I can't do it. All right. Thank you all for watching. We will be back next week with another episode to catch up on the news. And with that, we will bid you adieu. See you guys.